That's better because I messed up anyway the first time.
Hi, we are live with an anonymous female that says she believes that she is missing Jennifer Klein that was abducted in 1974 in Utah. First off, I want to thank you. You're a very brave person. I had spoke to her for quite some time yesterday. I have also looked into her claims, which is extremely compelling, and probably what you're going to hear today is going to blow your mind. First off, let's start off with you believe that you are Jennifer Klein. Jennifer Lee Klein that was abducted from Utah. You have contacted law enforcement regarding this, have you not?
Yes.
And they denied a DNA test.
They didn't. At first, they told me, they gave me the runaround. First, he said he was going to come here to do my DNA.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing was done. Then I was going to go down there, but it's kind of hard. It's 18 hours away. But then all of a sudden, they don't have no funds.
I've had my own experiences with the Utah with the same thing on a different case, so I am not surprised. But we're talking about a case, and you specifically started remembering after an auto accident, correct?
Yeah, I can remember everything.
You remembered certain things about your biological mother and circumstances of what happened that day, which is incredible. Yeah. If you want to share it with everybody.
Okay, I can remember my real mama. She used to sing to me, hum me to sleep. She used to, it was a blue reclining chair. She had kind of like a little bigger belly, and she used to get me laughing by going, jiggly wiggly, Jenny. You know, I used to crack up from that. Then, when it was time for us to go to Moab, I thought that we were going to go to see Mother Goose because she was reading a Mother Goose story to me and my brother, saying how we're going to go on, an adventure. So I'm thinking, we're going to go see Mother Goose,
Right.
No, we ended up going to the Goose Island. I can remember my mama waking me up when I was sleeping to come see the pretty red rocks. I climb up on her lap, and we're looking out the big window from the camper. My dad is driving. He turns around and smiles at us. And then my mama whispers, "It's so beautiful, huh, Jenny Lee?" And I say, "Yeah." And then showing us the rocks and looking. And then we eventually go to the Goose Island. We pull in, and I swear I get stolen no longer than an hour after we get there.
And from what I read is law enforcement didn't even look into the people that they were there because most of them were transient.
But by the time the cops got there, the black car that was sitting to the left of the camper, it was a black car with tan inside. It was right next to the camper. The only two cars that were right there was the camper and the black car. She came from the front of the camper.
Whoa, wait a minute. How do you know about that?
Because it's me.
Oh, okay.
Only the person that can remember something is the person that's been there. Somebody that wouldn't know the story wouldn't know what is what. But
now,
I remember
one thing that floored me with you is you have the same calic as Jenny. The same beautiful eyes. I did actually a GIMP and also a side-by-side. If you look, show us about, you said you had a certain piece of hair that fell a certain way.
The little two pieces?
Yeah.
It's like right here.
Which is the same calic that Jennifer had. And you're desperately searching. You don't even care if this gets publicized. You're just desperately searching for your biological parents.
Because I know what is what. I know what's real. I know what's not real. And I know my real family, they exist. I know they did. I remember my mom. I can still hear her humming to me to sleep. I can hum that same song in my head. But I can't get to the end because I will always fall asleep.
Right. And she also provided me a picture, which is on thing that was taken while she was being raised by this couple. which is quite compelling within itself. But if you have a message, if you wanted a message to your biological family members, what would that message be? Your mother, your father?
I'm looking for your mama. I used to call Mama.
We have tried to find information regarding Mr. and Mrs. Klein.
First name I know is Howard Klein. Mr. Neil from Moab's not giving me no information on nothing.
Yeah, I'm not surprised on that whatsoever.
I do have to out there, but I just don't know where.
Now, where did you grow up at? Like, where were you raised? You don't have to say, like, the address or the people or...
I was raised in Pennsylvania.
Where in Pennsylvania? Are you comfortable? Okay. If at any point that you're uncomfortable with something, and I know based off of certain situations that we have to be careful what we say, but you're not the only one, correct?
Correct.
You're not the only person that was abducted and was with these people. Who were are you comfortable saying who the other people are?
Yeah.
And let me tell you that she has sent me compelling evidence that what she's saying is true. If not, then I don't know what else is, which we will provide as well. But who were the other kids that were abducted?
Patz is still alive. He's going by another name.
Ethan Patz. Etan Patz is still alive.
Yeah.
And
everybody's dead. He's not dead. He's not. He's well off alive. We were raised as cousins.
What's really weird is I have now in my possession pictures that are quite compelling. First of all, I want to thank you for being so brave. And there was another little boy that was abducted out of Manchester, that another picture of him growing up. I did a grim possession. There's no way that what you're saying, I believe you. Otherwise, I wouldn't be coming on my channel and trying to make this public. I said from the beginning they got the Patz case wrong. They got it wrong. They absolutely got it wrong. But to think that he was raised in Pennsylvania, knowing how publicized his case was, I saw the pictures of him growing up. It was very obvious that that is Etan Patz, to me. Anyway, I'm just floored. But who was the other little boy that you say that you feel was abducted in the 70s, correct?
His name is Kurt. In about a year.
Kurt Newton?
Yeah.
And he was, I actually was not, that's actually one of the cases that I was not familiar with. So, I had to do some research on it. But what do you want the public to know? What do you want your family to know? And what do you want the people...
out here.
You have tried to tell Etan he is Etan Patz, correct?
Yeah.
And he does not believe you because he's brainwashed?
He thinks I'm nuts.
Yeah, well, I don't think you're nuts.
Him being alive.
You know, I always thought that they got it wrong with the Etan Patz case. I actually have my theories.
We were locked up in an apartment in Manhattan. That's where we were for a while. And after that, then we bounced around. I was with them when they stole him. He was walking down the street drinking an orange soda. I know.
And it was the same black car, correct? Was it the same?
No.
Okay.
Different black car. But they're older black cars.
Okay.
But one had black inside. The one that Ethan, when that happened, it had black inside. The one when I got stolen, it had tan inside.
Okay. But different cars.
Yeah.
You were with the people who abducted Etan Patz, correct? You were in the vehicle. Can you just share a little bit about
Well,
that? You were used as bait to lure Etan in, correct, as a child?
yeah.
I guess just share a little bit of information about it if you're comfortable.
Okay, he was walking down the street drinking an orange soda. We pull over in the old black car, and she tells me to ask him if he wants a ride. So I asked him. He says no. So then it starts raining a little tiny bit, but then he says okay, and then he gets in the car. And then he was like, well, this ain't the way. And then the lady says, well, we have to go home to get her something.
Right.
Well, that wasn't the case. As soon as we got into the apartment, they locked us in the room. So then he took his crowns out. He had like a bag, a little bag. It wasn't a book bag you carry on your shoulder. It wasn't one of them. It was a bag he carried. He took the crowns out the bag, and we colored all over them walls in that room. We got in so much trouble. It's just, I can't remember no more about that moment, but I know it'll come to me.
And they told you that after they abducted him, that this little boy's name was Alex?
No, I called him Alex. I said, oh, you're Alex. And he was like, no, my name is not Alex. My name is Ethan. So then I got mad and started crying because he was yelling at me.
Yeah.
And then they came back in the room because they locked us in the room. They came back in the room, and I can't remember.
Yeah, because you would have been older by then. I mean, from 74 to 79, you would have been almost, 9 or 8? If you are, I mean, I know the different ages are different now, correct? Now, I'm going to just show the GIMP processes that I was able to do. Is that okay with you?
Yeah.
So you're going to see me just go down for a minute. I'm not shutting it down, but I want to, well, maybe I can do it while this is up. Just bear with us. I want to see if I can open the, okay. Now, oh crap. Bear with me, guys.
Okay.
I don't know why. I'm trying to pull up a picture. It's not allowing me. Hold on one second. I'm just going to go down for a second. I don't want people to see any names. Just bear with us. I'm pulling up a picture. Fuck. I want to make sure. Okay. Why is this not opening? Okay. Okay. I want to keep the gentleman in the picture out of it. This is a picture that she has provided of who she claims, which, if you look at the GIMP process, is Etan Patz growing up. What I'm doing right now is just showing some of the GIMP processes that I did. Now, this is a progression of Etan Patz that was made. Bear with me. I've never done this before with this computer. Now, this is a picture that she provided. She looks exactly like Jennifer Klein. Here is the picture provided.
I can't hear you.
What's the Newman kid's first name? I'm sorry.
Kurt.
Kurt Newman?
Newton.
Newton, yes. I'm looking for for some reason, I'm having a little bit of technical difficulty, shocker. I can't find there's a picture of Etan. I apologize, guys. I don't know why I can't find my... Okay, here we go. Here's a side-by-side of a picture she provided. Age progression of Etan Patz. Right now I'm just going to go through a couple pictures, so bear with me. Okay, here is the GIMP process of what Etan looks now. On the other side is Etan's photo. If you can see that I did a GIMP process, which is a overlay, there is no mistaken that everything is identical. Now here is a picture she provided. Oops. Here's a picture she provided of Kurt Newman while he was with the couple who abducted him. Here is Kurt Newman, his missing persons photo. Now, I think I showed enough for right now. Where'd you go? Okay. I think I provided enough of the photos. Tell me a little bit about what you're comfortable sharing.
Not really much, but a little bit I can share.
Just whatever you're comfortable with. I don't want to lead anything. Mrs. Walker wants to know if authorities believe you.
No.
No, they've done nothing. And it was even contacted, you wanted to give them your DNA. You wanted them to prove your story.
I told them I would for it myself, and they said it has to be publicly funded from the Department of Justice.
But didn't one law enforcement say that they already took your DNA when they didn't?
Mr. Neal lied to the Springfield Police Department and told him that I had my DNA taken. My DNA was never taken.
Unreal.
I have witnesses also because I had took people with me when I went to the police station to do my DNA. I'm pretty sure they would have done it here in Springfield, but being that when he called to Mr. Neal in Moab, he lied and said it was done already and that I wasn't a match. I never had it taken by nobody.
Yeah, I mean, I believe you. I absolutely believe you. I've had that in many cases to where long-term missing, I know this is very hard for you and it's very emotional and it's very dangerous what you're doing. I commend you. I mean, I think that you provided me with enough proof that something needs to be looked into here.
I'm getting my DNA. And I'm scared to say when they do come, who's to say they're not going to switch it up with somebody else? So I want to do a DNA where it's going to be determined right then and there.
You mean, like something with a facility? Like you want to do a DNA test. You want to prove what you're saying is the truth.
I know what is what. I know I'm not a loose cannon. I know.
She wants to know where these are children that were abducted from the 70s. You were 74, Etan Patz, which is another thing. You've been trying to tell them this for a long time, but yet they never looked into it. Unreal. Unreal. You know, just like I said, I'm not surprised. I'm not shocked by anything that you're saying. Because if you think about it, if one already says they have your DNA, then why would they need the funding to do a DNA test? It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. And maybe they looked back into your future, you know, through your birth certificate. Your birth certificate is not your birth certificate, correct?
No.
No, it's not. You're going by a totally different person. Which, if you look back who you are, they wouldn't know that you weren't that person unless they gave you a DNA test. The person's whose birth certificate do you feel comfortable sharing that is deceased, correct? That you feel is deceased? Or you don't know, or?
No, I feel she is, because the people that took us, they was involved in worshiping the devil type thing. There was more kids. The day they worshiped me to the devil, well, they tried. They didn't succeed. Our Lord wasn't having that.
Yeah.
They had me laying in the star on the floor inside a circle with candles all around. And then the boogie man came over me with a knife. And I started crying. When I started crying, all the candle lights went out. The light flicked on. And the boogeyman was gone from over me. So I got up and I walked downstairs, and there was a lot of grown people there. Somebody who was behind me locked me back in the room and took the baby out the crib. And I believe I'm using her identity. I don't want to say no names yet.
No. I totally get what you're saying. Like I said, whatever you're comfortable with. And the reason why you feel you have to go to this level is because people are not listening. And for one, you're afraid for your life. You're afraid. Yeah. You're afraid for your life. I mean, no one's going to come publicly with stuff like this that could be easily proved wrong or easily proved wrong. No one's going to do this. You're live in front of over 11,000 people right now. There is no way that it would just be. First of all, a lot of people are popping in, and we have questions. I can
answer some just as long as it's not.
No, I understand, and we had the conversation before we go through and do this. Daniel wants to know if we can recap or refresh. I don't think so, Daniel. You'll have to rewatch, or Danielle. We're going live with a woman that I'm not saying what name she's using, and I'm not going to say that she was Jennifer Lee Klein that was abducted in 1974, and there were others abducted with her. Billy Newton, or Kurt Newton, I don't know why I want to call him Billy, for some reason, and Etan Patz. She claims that Etan Patz is still alive, and from the pictures that they provided, it's a little bit
like mine.
Yeah, and she was with these people when they were abducted, correct?
Yeah.
You're welcome, Danielle. She's also provided pictures of these kids growing up, but when I say that I did a GIMP process, who she claims that they are, wow is not the word. Wow is just wow. If you guys could share this while we're going live, it'll help a lot. One of the, Arlene says, wow. Now that everyone has seen the pictures of these kids that she claims is Etan Patz and Kurt Newman, what do you guys think? Newton. I don't know why I keep doing that.
I call him Newman too.
Danielle says you're a very brave woman and very strong, and it takes a voice to make a difference. Now, you actually were brainwashed prior to this and started remembering this stuff after a car accident, which is not uncommon. And she's been trying to get people to listen to her ever since then. And, it's very hard. It's not easy to come on, in front of 11,000 people. But from the proof that she has given to me is enough proof for them to look into this. There's no one going to come live in front of 11,000 people and say there's someone and that Etan Patz is still alive and that Kurt Newton is still alive.
And myself.
Jenny Lee Klein is still alive, which could be easily proved would make an idiot out of herself if it wasn't true. I have pictures to prove this. And there are other things that we're going to not reveal today, only, for certain reasons. But her important thing is she has asked the investigators about her family. This is not about publicity. She has been trying to tell investigators for over a year that she is Jenny Lee Klein, that Etan Patz is still alive, that Kurt Newton is still alive, living amongst society. She has been trying to do this for how long?
About a year, a little over a year.
And they have treated her like how?
They ignored me.
They've ignored you. You've reached out to...
Return calls, no writing back, no nothing. No knock on the door.
This is so hurtful to her because your thing is you're mourning for your parents, correct? Your biological parents, Mr. and Mrs. Klein, which you don't even know where they are or you don't know what they look like. You don't, and they wouldn't, the officer wouldn't give you anything, correct?
No.
We have a comment. What a strong, brave young lady. How can we help open this back up?
I don't know. We just need my DNA done. As soon as they come get that.
She just wants to do the DNA. And to prove, but she's also, one thing that's brave is she's being a voice for these other two. Because there is a guy, if Etan Patz is still alive, right?
He is.
As you claim, there is a guy sitting in jail for his murder that he didn't commit.
And I called the attorney and I told that attorney, Harvey Fishburne, I called him and I told him that man did not do it. Ethan is still alive. He hooked me up with a private investigator, and I haven't heard nothing back. But he's still alive. I promise everybody, we are alive still.
Oh, I think, I showed the pictures, and I also showed the GIMP process.
Oh, I didn't see that.
That if, I sent them to you in your message, which is the overlay of the one side of Ethan's face, which I told you, certain people's faces, landmarks, like Jenny's and yours, your calic, and you also have a mole. You also have a mole on your ear, correct?
Yeah.
You wanna show them the mole on your ear? Well, they probably can't see it, but
I don't know. Somewhere right in here. Oh, I got one there and one here.
I can't see. So you have
one like right on the inside, like one right here, and then I have one like right here.
And you have it's the same as Jenny. You have a beauty mark, I think it was, or a birthmark on your stomach.
I have, on each side of my stomach,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you'll be able to see it.
Yeah.
But I have, like, right here. Let me see. Like, one right here. And it's, like, very faint. I got one there, one on the other side, and then one up at the top. But the one on my side is shaped like a butterfly.
Mm-hmm.
And then on the other side, it's like a smaller butterfly. And then I had a white birthmark, but it was up closer to, like, under my arm, like, right here.
Mm-hmm.
But it's white. And now
Right.
it blended in. If I was to get some sun outside, it would probably show again.
Right. Now, one of the big keys is you used to
Have a big belly button. I did.
Yeah, Danielle, she is still in contact with Ethan. You have an outie belly button, correct? And they surgically fixed it?
Yep. At the hospital, I sent because I had spoke to somebody else, and she said it was better if I was to get my medical records saying what was what.
Right.
So I sent medical records to see, and they haven't came yet. But I remember everything.
Yeah.
I remember what hospital it happened in. I just...
The thing is with Ethan is, or Etan, I keep on saying Ethan. Etan is pretty much brainwashed. He doesn't believe what you're saying. He thinks you're crazy as well, even though he knows that you're not biologically related or that you're not, he has taken on the lifestyle of the people who abducted them, correct?
You could say that, yeah.
Okay.
Sort of something. Not exactly.
Well, let's hope not. You know what I'm saying, as far as they're with how, sometimes we take on what we know, how we're raised. But sometimes people go the other way. But the evidence that was provided to me, doing this for 12 years, is there's no way you could make this shit up. It's the same male in the pictures with every single, even though we want to protect it legally, and we also want to protect the investigation as well. But this is the reason why we're coming live today, is because they're not doing anything about it. She has been trying to do this for a year. She's afraid for her life. These people are people that are not nice people, correct?
Right.
You're afraid for the other kids' lives too, right?
Yeah. There's more than just, and who's to say, let me go bump her off so she don't talk,
Right. Well, not only that, is there other kids involved that you think that may be, abducted victims as well? Your abductor, you say you think it's possible. It's a cult, correct?
Yeah, they worship the devil.
Ugh. I'm trying to assist her and to find her biological family, but unfortunately, the law enforcement in the aid, that says they got her DNA when they didn't, is not allowing, cover up. You're exactly right, Miss Davis. Absolutely, and that's exactly what I feel is going on here. But we have 3 kids from the 70s that now are obviously alive, if this is true, which I believe her. I wouldn't be going on our Facebook page if I didn't believe her. There's just too much evidence that she has given me, that I don't know why they have not done something about this. I mean, what's your feeling on this?
My feeling is bigger than what it really is.
Okay. She wants to fill me in. I'm going to the people that are just popping on. We have a lot of people watching right now. We are live with a girl who was abducted in 1974 that believes she is Jenny Lee Klein that was abducted in Utah, and also has provided proof, and we're discussing that Etan Patz is still alive, as well as Kurt Newton. That's a little bit of the recap that I can do without making this too long. Your parents, hopefully they're going to see this. I have not been able to find a Facebook, to be honest with you, honey.
Parent, some kind of my family, because I know they exist. I remember them. I remember my 3rd birthday party. I remember them.
Tell us about the things that you remember.
It goes in and out.
Well, yeah, that's normal. I mean, now that's totally normal.
My mama, she was sweet as could be. She used to sing to us, tell us stories all the time. She used to play with us. She was a loving mom.
Now, one thing I noticed, and I looked into the circumstances. If you are Jenny Lee Klein, the circumstances of your adoption was very similar to Kurt Newton's. Did you know
I
that?
didn't hear about him really. I just remember, and that's where I'm getting. I only read, about me trying to find my real parents, because I found out his name is Howard.
That was on a campground as well.
Yeah.
Kurt Newman's. So the circumstances are very similar.
And he was riding on his bike, and she just snatched him off the bike and threw him in the car.
And you were there too.
I told her, "Ooh, you stole him," and she just started yelling at me. And then I just started crying, and I don't remember nothing else about that yet. But I'm hoping maybe somebody could do a sneak study also on me and find out everything.
Well, or some kind of hypnosis, or
because these are just the things I can remember. Just imagine the things that I can't remember offhand. I know it's kind of crazy.
Well, that's normal. Like I said, the fact that these things started coming together for you after you have a head injury is actually very common, because what happens is, from what you shared with me, was completely tragic, and a horrible life. And I would want to suppress them too, subconsciously. So for that, but I'm sorry, all the pictures that you have, that's provided, how many, I mean, you just can't make it up. Absolutely not. Danielle, in 2014, FBI did go to Europe and questioned, a man that he believed that was Etan. There are articles where the FBI believed he's still alive. Yeah, that's why I don't understand. And if you look at my YouTube channel, Save Missing in America, I've said it over and over and over and over. They got this wrong. Etan Patz was not murdered. And why they wouldn't want to get... Exactly. And back in 2004, they said they believed he was still alive.
Just have different names, that's all that is. But we're well alive.
Is there anything else you want to share with the people? You have other.
We can find my mama. Or find a way to get my DNA done. There's a way. I just gotta figure.
Now I'm gonna reach out to CC Moore to see if maybe she can assist in this as well. We are not going to reach out to, even though I know who they are and I know what names they're going by. I'm going to keep that to myself, and for their well-being as well. We hope that they... Several comments. We believe her. She didn't think she's being treated like a crazy person by law enforcement. I have too many pictures
of who she says these little boys are growing up that are remarkable to these people, the kids that were abducted.